Let's see how we can write decimals from numbers that are smaller than thousandths. How can we write 3,472 tens of thousandths? Well, I have a place value table, but I'm going to write it as a fraction first because it's parts of a whole. So we've got tens of thousandths. So that tells us our denominator is 10,000. Now, we've got 3,472 of those parts, so our fraction is 3,472 10,000ths. Now, because our numerator is smaller than our denominator, our number is less than one whole. So we can go ahead and put a 0 in the units place and then a decimal point. So this is how we know we're to the right of our decimal point, because our numerator is smaller than our denominator. Now, when we work through our number, what we want to do is actually start at the tens of thousandths place. So we're going to count forward. We have one place to the right of our decimal point is tenths. Then we go 2 places, that's hundredths. 3 places is thousandths, and 4 places is tens of thousandths. Now, let's see if we can put this number in. Remember, we start at the tens of thousandths place. So we're going to start there, and we start on the far right of our digit, which is 2. We put a 2 there. Then we move left one place in our table and in our number. So we've got 7 thousandths. Left again, we've got 4 hundredths. And then left again, we've got 3 in the tenths place. So we've now got our fraction written in decimal form because it's in our place value table, and we can now write it out without the place value table. So we have 0.3472. That decimal fraction is the same thing as 3,472 over 10,000. It means exactly the same thing. This time we want to work out what our decimal says. If we've got a number 0.24187, how do we say it? Or how do we know what value it has? Well, we're going to write it in our place value table, but you see I haven't labelled it yet because we're going to work through that with this number. We've got a decimal point and a 0 to the left of our number, so we can put those in, and we know we've got no units. Now we move right to our tenths place, and instead of the word tenths, I've written 1/10. So each digit in that place represents a tenth. We've got 2 tenths. Moving right to our hundredths place, we've got 4 hundredths. We've got 1 of the thousandths, 8 tens of thousandths, and in our last place, we've got 7 hundreds of thousandths. So we have all the way down to the hundreds of thousandths place this time. So when we think of what that number is, it's actually 24,187 hundreds of thousandths. Not hundreds of thousands, it's actually a number less than 1. So it's hundreds of thousandths.